Summer in the Primory region gives a unique chance to watch the giant octopus, an amazing inhabitant of the Pacific Ocean. The water in the Peter the Great Bay warms up to 64 degrees Fahrenheit, and divers can afford to spend a great deal of time studying the animal. Every year, these encounters become more and more rare, and Olga wants to draw public attention to this fact.
I, like nobody else, can understand how difficult it is to find them under the water. Being down there, you realize that besides the physical energy you spent, you cannot find them, and it is very sad. I hope that after watching our program, each person will at least realize how fragile this world is.
The team makes a 25-meter trial dive. Octopi prefer cold water and are rarely seen near the surface. The first task is to get used to the gray color of stones. Each may have an octopus on top, which changes its color to match the landscape. Vertical rocks and boulders get covered with a layer of actinia, colorful calcareous algae, and giant mussels. You will be amazed to see bag-like sea squirts and bryozoans. These are ancient animals, though at first glance they look like plants. So far, the team has not met any octopi, but it has run into traps set out for them. Another boat comes into sight, which seems suspicious to Valeri. It is common practice for poachers to disguise themselves as tourists, and the unsuspecting marine biologists reveal the animals' hideouts to them. After such excursions, poachers set traps and catch all the octopi they can find. However, they take only the largest and ruthlessly destroy the rest. Maybe that's why our divers are returning from the depth empty-handed. But this is not the only problem as it seems.
Let's try again.
We better not.
Why?
Because later, tomorrow, you won't be able to dive at all. Of course, you need to use nose drops before bed.
My nose is perfectly clean.
What?
Clean nose.
But for some reason you did not blow the air out. Let's not dive, simply not to risk losing a shooting day. Olga decides to make another dive, and Valeri heads the boat towards the next hideout. Instructors Ivan and Valeri have had 20 years of diving experience. Olga, on the other hand, has been learning to fight her fear of water only for the past 18 months.
To be honest, I don't feel comfortable here because the waves are big and the sea is rough. And you understand that we are going to the bottom. Then you will need to go up.
The motorboat has arrived to its spot, and a decision needs to be made, a routine procedure for every adrenaline junkie. It's 30 meters to the bottom and 24 meters wide. There are 2 to 3 octopi constantly living in the area. It's just they aren't happy to see the divers. Actually, they are just hiding there somewhere. If you are skilled, you will find them. The water is quite calm right now, so I think we can dive. Yeah, it should be fine for us to dive right now. Hunting for octopi in Primoria has not been banned yet, and there is a chance that in about 10 years from now, we'll be able to see this animal only in aquariums. The dive has not achieved the desired result. Due to stormy weather, the water is all mucked up, even at the bottom. Octopi hate this and hide in crevices and dens deep under the stones.
The conditions were horrible. Just no visibility, a current. Just horrible. I understood right away that there will be nothing. No, we found 2 octopuses, but both were in their holes. There's so much mud. You cannot see anything, nothing at all. It is impossible to work. No success today.
Alex, get on board! It turned out that yesterday a typhoon passed through the Vityaz Bay. It mixed the warm water from the surface with the cold water at the bottom. This will make photo shooting much more complicated as the octopi love low temperatures. However, Olga is in for a pleasant surprise. The storm has brought a swarm of jellyfish close to the boat. What a view! Even the experienced divers are impressed.
Is anybody free?
Are you trying to go diving again? Positively, Olga will be taking pictures of the jellyfish under the water. The most important thing is not to run into the deadly poisonous jellyfish, the lion's mane, the threat of the local waters. Our first success. The extreme photographer is happy, but nothing is ever perfect.
So beautiful. It feels like I'm in a flower garden, though one has bitten me in the forehead.
I've seen things like this a couple of times in the White Sea, but to see this in the clean water is a first for me. That's it for today. There is no air left in the scuba tanks. There is something every diver is apt to do when he gets back. The diving paraphernalia needs to be soaked in fresh water, which is less aggressive than the salty ocean water. It has to stay in fresh water, otherwise it may break while we work in significant depths. The new day starts with the planning of a perfect route. Yevgeny, the instructor who regularly investigates the sea bottom and who knows each and every crevice like the back of his hand, suggests inspecting the channel terrain near the deserted Tarantsev Islands outside the bay. There are many dens here, in fact, over 10, but not all of them are occupied. We will check these stones, and luckily we have a good landmark, that rail over there. One, two, three. To take a perfect photograph, Olga and Vyacheslav have to learn the habits and ways of the giant octopus. These amazing creatures prefer to make their homes in coastal water on the edge of rocks and sandbanks. The animals are very sensitive to water clarity. If the water gets muddy after you move your flippers, forget about your supermodel. That's why you must keep swimming very slowly, 1 meter away from the bottom. Octopi live in dens under stones and boulders and emerge onto the sand to hunt for scallops and other animals. After a tasty lunch, the animals throw the mollusk shells out of their dens. So heaps of empty shells are a good indicator of an inhabited den. Ivan has brought a frozen shellfish as bait to the bottom. A little piece of it is offered to the octopus to involve it in a dialogue, or as it is called here, into stretching, the acrobatic tricks aimed to keep the water clear. It is obvious now that every shot of the octopus cost the team a lot of precious oxygen from the scuba tanks and a great deal of meticulous work. But the old trick does not work, and the journey along the shelf continues. Finally, the first success. An octopus, and we don't have to lure it from its den. We mustn't miss the chance. The bulky animal can sneak into any crevice if its beak goes through. The journey continues. Another amazing local ritual is the lunch of starfish and sea urchins. The saltiness of the ocean water, which is 33 grams per liter, makes these waters suitable for echinoderms. For lunch, they have an octopus. Or rather, what is left of it. Finally, we've reached our point that Yevgeny mentioned in the morning. Time to go back. We are running out of oxygen, but Olga decides to take a chance and tries to lure an octopus out from his den. One must approach the hole on tiptoe so as not to muck up the water. You can't move your flippers, it can spoil the entire hunt. Black urchins, the most dangerous animals in these waters, are crowded around the entrance. First, you must move them away. Otherwise, if you pull your hand quickly from the octopus, you risk getting spikes in your hand. A failure. All we can do now is go up to the surface. Unfortunately, Olga has touched a sea urchin. One may lose orientation or even pass out from sea urchin stings. The photographer is lucky. Look, this will need to be dug out with the help of a needle.
Maybe with tweezers.
Tweezers will not work here.
So he made a hole in my glove, yes?
Alexei has special tweezers.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see the hole. It's broken. Yes, his needle is like a harpoon, meaning it has a shape that looks like this. Like a fir tree, like a spear. It is stuck there and it's impossible to dig it out. In any case, some pieces will stay inside. Move it a little bit. No, it'll get infected and will cause pain. It's not a problem. Don't touch it for now. Let's get back to the land. What a joke. We will just cut off the whole finger right up to the neck. The deeper a spike penetrates under the skin, the more difficult it is to get it out. As sad as it may sound, we have to get back to shore. However, Olga is filled with emotion. The first picture of an octopus has been taken.
I just had a feeling that today is a good day. I woke up today in a good mood, slept well, just felt that everything will be great.
It looks okay. Good pictures. Great dive. However, it is not a giant octopus. Ivan provides first aid at the camp, while Olga is going through the shots she has taken. Here we go, getting out the spikes. A minor carelessness, and we have half a day less to look for an octopus. Now we'll have to take a break until tomorrow. A photographer needs all his 10 fingers, especially during a deep-sea shooting. The third day starts with an unexpected turn of events. The instructor suggested that Olga give up the octopus hunt for a couple of hours and go meet the common seal. Sadly, this animal was added to the International Red Book of Endangered Species in 1996. There are only some 230,000 seals left. Olga wants to show the grace and liveliness of the animals. These qualities are better seen underwater, and the team dives. They must be extremely careful. The current in the bay is very strong. The risk of getting hurt or breaking the equipment increases in a strange place, in shallow water with stony bottom. The seals, however, feel absolutely relaxed. In the company of the seals, time flies. The oxygen in the scuba tank is almost gone, but Olga has got hooked by the process. She comes up to the surface to take pictures of the seals in the open. In winter, these animals will swim to the frigid waters of the north, and such encounters will become impossible. It all seems easy to an outsider, but the GoPro camera is showing what Olga is feeling in reality. She is tired of fighting the current. Moreover, the equipment has become dozens of times heavier on the surface. Valeri gets the team on board. The captain should be especially careful in this bay. Luckily, he knows all the dangerous spots, and everything ends well.
She has such eyes. She was so surprised when she saw me. She was lying there enjoying the moment.
Take the flippers.
I got out of the water 15 centimeters from her, on such a distance. At first they were cautious, but then that was it. The whole family started swimming around me.
It was so cool how they were playing with each other.
Oh yes, little ones with the big ones.
Instead of the recommended 40 minutes, the team has spent several hours in the water. I called you 6 times already. Enough. We will come tomorrow. But no. More, they have just started talking.
In the beginning, they were afraid of us, but then started interacting with us in such a great way. Swimming so close, even have bitten Ivan's flippers.
No sooner said than done. The boat arrives at one of the best dive spots. And what luck! Right under the first stone, there is an octopus. All tricks are used to strike a dialogue. But the animal flatly refuses to make contact with the humans. Meanwhile, Olga runs into another local peculiarity, Carolophus japonicus. The exotic looks and the trusting nature of this fish have turned it into the diver's favorite. The fish eats out of their hands and allows them to stroke it, which is so untypical of fish. And here is a male fish, safe and snug in his hole. Chirolophus japonicus is a solitary animal in terms of territory. Males and females may be next-door neighbors but will never live under the same roof. Here is another fish that loves interacting. It's the instructor's old friend. He knows well when it can allow such liberties. Olga's example shows that it is not as easy as it seems. The instructor decides to change the location and the team comes up to the surface. Suddenly, an old problem emerges in the boat. When asked if she is going for the third round, Olga sadly replies,
Oh, my ear.
Your ear, yes?
I had this thing before at Avecango. When we were going to the bottom as fast as a stone, I had the same, my right ear. My right ear, it's very weak. That's all for today. For me, only tomorrow. The most important thing is not to lose a day tomorrow, so let's hope it doesn't hurt.
The rest of the day, Olga is admiring the beauty of the ocean from the shore. There are coniferous forests around, exotic for the monsoon climate.
When you feel the power of the largest ocean in the world, the power of Earth, especially when you see these rocks, yes, it's the Russian land. For me, it's a special type of pride because I am Russian. For example, today we saw how divers get out of the water with their bags full of scallops, octopuses, for which we came here for. And we are diving here not for the first day, but still have not found the giant octopuses. And it's very sad, because even 5 years ago, it was easy to meet a giant octopus here.
The giant Pacific octopus can also be met on the west coast of North America, where the temperature of the water is always 35 degrees. The local temperature is much more comfortable for divers, 68 degrees. Now the team should overcome the thermocline, which means descending from the top layers of warm water to the cold bottom. Another den, another attempt. Nobody wants to back off on the last day of the adventure. Octopi are considered to be the smartest among all invertebrates. They have a wonderful memory. For example, they recognize people and get used to those who feed them. And if you spend enough time with an octopus, you can tame it. Finally, the octopus is literally pulled into the photo session. The way this animal interacts with other creatures is by testing the competitor's strength. Smart octopi enjoy interacting with divers. The main thing here is not to demonstrate your superiority, or else the cephalopod will slip out and turn on its biojet engine. But even in this case, the trained hands of a professional can gently but resolutely stop him. The animal is showing all his talents. The fantastic flexibility of an invertebrate and an incredible ability to disguise itself. There is a whole colony here. However, not all of them are as sociable as the divers would like them to be. But somebody else is happy. Experienced instructors always feel when it's time to leave the animal alone. The underwater journey continues. What is it? Amazing! Another big octopus is out for a walk. A lucky spot or a lucky strike. No time for thinking. Just imagine, these creatures appeared on Earth 95 million years ago. This cover girl has 3 hearts. One pushes the blue blood through the body, while the other 2 push the blood through the gills. Another attempt. A rather dangerous moment. It seems the octopus has gotten scared and is using its deadly grab. It is important not to injure it, though it's no fun for the team either. Time to go up. The world above the water is awaiting Olga and the rest, though it seems everyone has forgotten about it during the passionate dialogue with the giant octopus.
Not a big one.
I saw that you went down to the sand. That means that you were pushing the octopus, yes?
He was sitting separately, yes, on the sand. I've made great pictures.
Big.
No, not big. Like this.
Not a big one is even better. We'll fit into the picture.
But interactive. We were swimming and he was sitting on the stones nearby. We were so shocked. The pictures are great. This is what I call being an extreme photographer. It's not when it is dangerous underwater, but when you forget about your security. You forget about the air, about its quantity, and about the fact that your time is up and you need to go to the surface. You are too busy to think about it. You work till the last moment, until the air is completely gone. This is what an extreme photographer is all about.
You see? Now the team can return home, show the pictures of this magical animal, the giant Pacific octopus, to the world, and draw public attention to the plight of this species. The expedition is over. Olga Michi is taking the next step. The new exhibition is aimed at telling urban dwellers how fragile wild nature is. Look around, feel it. Olga will appreciate the help and attention of each and every one of you.
We hope to send the money collected today with the help of the exhibition, in particular from the sale of the photos of the octopuses, to the Far Eastern Marine Reserve. It is very important to preserve such a creature in the world. Any violation of the balance in the ocean causes death of other creatures.
Contemporary photography does not just open the world of wild nature to people, it gives you much more. An opportunity to save the planet, for example, these rare animals that resemble humans so much, but whose population is millions of times smaller than ours.